Let's get it going. Call the meeting to order, 4:30. Start out with pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we're going to item 3, roll call. Want to start us out? Bob?
Bacon present.
Keyquam present.
Milky present.
Coin present.
Myers present.
Sweet present.
Seeing a quorum present, we'll move on to item 4, approval of tonight's agenda.
I approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion.
Got a motion by Rick, support by Coin to approve tonight's agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. And the agenda is approved. Going on to agenda item number 5, approval of minutes from the November 19th, 2024 regular meeting.
Move to approve the minutes as presented for November 19th, 2024.
Support.
Got a motion by Sweet, supported by Coin to approve those meeting minutes. Hearing no comments or corrections, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. And the motion is approved. And moving on to item 6, correspondence, annual evaluation of REUs. What do we got there?
So this is, really just for your information, this is every year the Public Services Department reevaluates based on prior year's usage in accordance with our ordinances, the number of residential equivalency units that will be charged to each account. So you see the changes here. These changes largely reflect the construction activity that removed a portion of our East Pickard Road irrigation system. So the ones where you see it dropping to 1 are accounts where that system is not currently active. Some of the other ones you see there's some increases that is just based on usage over the course of the year. We've seen in past years that in terms of usage goes up and down. These numbers are similar to past years in some of those ranges and changes. I'm happy to answer any questions you have asked about it, but there's not any action needed.
Just on the, so like the 4858.1 East Pickard that went from 56 down to 1. So does that mean last year we were billed the $14,000, the minimum payment on the 56 REUs?
I'd have to look up the billing on it. I don't recall, but yes, if it's minimum payment based on the RUs, we're going to get that charge.
So,
Yeah. That's what I would expect.
that's, very nice. So, yeah, so we paid about $30,000 last year for something we didn't use.
Is that true?
That would be,
I wasn't catching all that.
Yeah, but it should go, so this year will be on 1 REU. So if we kick out
but we still
water-
don't use it.
Right.
No,
Right.
if we kick it on, then it'll go to the 15,000 gallons per over the REU. So we'll still pay, like if you turned it on
Right.
tomorrow
Right,
and
the
started
overage.
drawing, 30 or 200,000 gallons, you're gonna get paid, you're gonna get charged for the amount. But so we had 58, that's disappointing.
Any more questions on that? Hearing no more, we'll go on to item 7, public comment. Anybody on? Then we'll go on to item number 8, A, accounts payable.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have the accounts payable report here for the East DDA. This report includes a few checks that were issued in December when there was no meeting. And it also includes checks that are issued on today's date. So I'll go over the checks that were issued in December. We did go ahead and mail, get them signed and mailed those out in December. But I've got them here for you to approve tonight. So we had a payment to Consumers Energy the end of November for $925.16. And we had a payment to Block Electric December 17th for $1,360. This was to remove the Art Reach banners for the East DDA, getting ready for the holiday lighting. And then we had a payment to Hometown Decorations and Display for the holiday lighting. That payment went out on 12/17. That was for the contract amount, $12,400. And we had a payment go out on 12/17 for MMI for the park bench ground maintenance in November for $536. And then moving on to the accounts payable for this month, on January 10th, we made a payment to Consumers Energy for the street light, the electric to the street lights along Pickard. That was for $1,093.06. That's a bit higher because of the Christmas lighting. And then we had a payment to Block Electric. We have a check ready for Block Electric for $2,547.42. That included 3 invoices. They worked to repair a light pole hit by a car. They also replaced fuses and breakers for the holiday lighting on 2 different occasions to get the lights working properly. And then we have a payment to Union Township for utility billing for the irrigation for $164.22. Of course, the irrigation system wasn't running, but there's a sewer capital charge, and that's what this $164 is for. There's a payment to Johnny's Lawn Care. This is for snow removal on the East DDA sidewalks up and down along Pickard. For December, that's for $2,610.12. And then we have a payment to MMI for maintenance on the grounds around the park benches and for the trash receptacles for December. That's for $536. And we also have a payment for the East DDA's portion to Middle Michigan Development Corp. for the 2025 client fee. That's for $2,500. So your total accounts payable that you're approving today is $24,671.98 for the East DDA. Are there any questions on that?
Hearing no questions, we can get a motion.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Barr, support by Sweet, to approve those East DDA payables. Hearing no more questions, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. And payables are approved.
Okay, and then moving on to the West DDA payables, we do have a couple of checks issued for January payments. We have one to Johnny's Lawn Care for snow removal on the West DDA sidewalks for December. That was for $1,549.95. And we also have a $2,500 client fee to Middle Michigan Development Corp. for 2025 from the West DDA. So your total accounts payable for the West DDA, $4,049.95. Any questions there?
I'll move to approve the payables for the West DDA.
Second?
Got a motion by Melky, support by Sweet, to approve the West DDA payables. Hearing no further questions, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. And motion is approved.
And I'll quickly take back what I said. I looked down, and it looks like we've gotten charges under $5,000 for water and sewer in East DDA this past year, so.
Oh, really?
That's good.
And I was looking at, well, if I may, at one, for every 15,000 gallons over, it's about
$2.
36 cents or
Yep.
$36 or so,
Yep.
roughly.
Yep.
So it's a little cheaper than the REU for, which is, so hopefully it washes out.
I'd be curious to find out though.
I don't think it's that bad. I'll give you my water park bill, that would pay the township.
I can imagine.
But, all right, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, moving on to the financials for the East DDA. Looking at your revenue and expenditure report, this is for the period ending December 31st. That's the fiscal year end. It's looking pretty darn good. You may still have some, something come in that will post back to 2024 for work done in 2024, but this is looking pretty darn good. Your revenues are sitting at about 100% of budget, just over 102% of budget. And then your expenditures, you only used about 24% of the budget. So then moving on to the balance sheet for the East DDA, your total assets are about 2.5 million, and your projected ending fund balance at the end of the fiscal year is about 2.5 million. Are there any questions on the East DDA financials? If not, I'll move on to the West DDA. Looking at your revenue and expenditure report for December 31st, the revenues are about 103% of the budget. Very good there, over 500,000. And then your expenditures are sitting at about 57% of the budget, and that's also really good. And then moving on to the balance sheet, your total assets are about 1.6 million, and then your ending fund balance is also about 1.6 million for the fiscal year 2024. Any questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's let the record show the financials were presented, received, and filed. And item 8C for your review is the board member matrix. And moving on to agenda item number 9, new business. Anything there? Nothing today? Anything on item 10, pending business?
Today.
No? Item 11, director comments?
Just a few items. You heard in the financial reporting about the damaged street light. This was a uninsured driver that came off the road. There were actually 2 accidents that day. One that took out our street light. It's noted in the financials as repair of damage. The street light had to be removed. It was found to not be able to be repaired in place. I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. There was a separate uninsured driver not far away that took out some fencing for one of our East DA businesses off of Broadway Road. Bigger than 100 drilling lost some fencing over there. So a rough day for us and for uninsured drivers, apparently. The street light is insured, and we're going to be ordering a replacement light, and we've already actually received the first payment from the insurance company for that. We have a second payment coming in for that, but so that street light will be replaced to be some time until the new one comes in. This is light, if you haven't seen it, it's over by Doug Small Engine Repair. You'll see the missing spot there on the north side of the road. The second item on my list, actually, as I'm sure most of you know, not all, we lost Jim McBride earlier this month. And so I just want to acknowledge here my appreciation for his service to the township and to me. I've had the pleasure of going out with Jim on quite a number of business retention visits, visit some of the township companies, including some of our DDA districts. The reason I know about Biggert and Huggard and their fence is we were out there visiting with the owner just after it happened. This right before the holidays, we had the opportunity to do some visits. So it is a significant loss. I'm not sure how you replace that institutional knowledge and his skills. But I do appreciate the Middle Michigan Development Corporation, and they do have a depth of folks there. I've just had a meeting last week with Katie Moore, who's the vice president of Middle Michigan Development Corporation. She let me know of some things that were on Jim's list, and one of them was some potential funding for a shovel, essentially it's a shovel-ready project. Something involving site acquisition or some kind of infrastructure improvements, that sort of thing. There's apparently some money, regional money available that has been earmarked for the county, and we'll see where it goes. Just had the conversation, but we've talked about some potential acquisition projects here. I shared some things that we've looked at and possibilities. I should hear shortly back from her as to what project might fit best for that. And so you may hear more about that in February. We'll see.
I think she was just announced today that she's taking over, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Katie, this morning.
Yep.
Mark is on the executive committee, and he was made the recommendations for them today, is formally approved. So,
Good.
so we hit the ground running. So
That's right. Well, she certainly has some great skills, and I've enjoyed working with her, so look forward to seeing what happens from there. But it is going to be a big change, no matter what. The other thing, like I said, no, that was it. Just the three things on my list. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
I'll just say that the banners and lights all looked fabulous, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. It was a nice year. As you again heard from the financials, it was kind of a rough year for the holiday lighting. We had more issues with fuses than we've had in the past year, in the previous year. So that cycle can happen. So
Yeah, considering all the construction, I think we fared pretty good, though.
It's a very stark contrast going from the township into this city, and because it just ends. So it's quite noticeable.
it is indeed. Yeah, we get many comments on those holiday lights in particular.
I guess the other thing I noticed, it seems like we took them down pretty quick. It's like a couple days after the first. I thought that was
They
kind of
actually do
early.
come down. That's the normal timing.
Is that when we do it? Huh. I was like, wow.
You know, uniquely enough, and not digressing, but Sherry gives a report on the checks. And Jim McBride, of course, there was funding to Jim, or to MMD for 2,500.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, above that, Ken Block Electric, Ken passed away in an accidental death within a month or so.
That's true. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's kind of unique. You see those as kind of a deja vu, that things can happen. Unexpected, both unexpected.
They can indeed. Thank you for bringing Ken up. I
Yeah.
completely forgot to mention him. But, yeah, things can happen. That's about all you can say.
Yeah, but like any organization that's well run, is that they have depth,
Yeah.
and that's the key, is getting depth.
Yeah.
And final question I had, any word from Jeff Graber?
Thank you. He is working on plans, and so hopefully we will see those relatively soon. But that project is proceeding.
Is
Okay.
that the water?
That is irrigation.
Irrigation.
Irrigation estimate
Yeah. Options.
for 17.5.
Yeah.
Guess that's a big project.
That's all I had. Any more questions?
My term ends on the 13th, so 5 days before the next meeting. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna renew or apply for renewal. I've loved the board. I love all the people on it. It's really taught me a lot, and I appreciate everybody on the board. It's just both girls in high school sports, basically year round. And I've missed meetings because of that, but the flip side of it is like 3 basketball games this week, so leave work right on time on Monday, which I usually don't. Today leave early, tomorrow right on time, Friday leave 2 hours, an hour early. So it's just, it adds up. So maybe in a few years, reach out and I can be back, but for now I gotta take a step back. So I do appreciate everybody and my time on the board. I do.
No,
I've done a lot of
appreciate it.
Great things. So.
I was going to ask you after, but thanks for bringing it up. Don't miss those times. So
Yeah,
I think
that's-
it's a wise choice.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
See, my term was up too.
But I saw your application, but I
Yeah.
didn't see Jeff's.
My
And I
wife
was going to
filled it
ask
out-
Jeff
my wife
after
filled
the
it out
meeting.
for me. She wanted me out of, I don't have any kids
I
at
wouldn't
home,
see
but
that. I would
I have nothing else
You
to
have
do.
a wife at home that wants you to,
It wants me out. Encouragement.
Yeah.
What a meeting.
Well, hearing no more comments, it's been called meeting adjourned, 4:55. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
thank you.